I'm on a mission to platinum as many games as I can, and in today's video I will be platinuming Astro's Playroom is a free-to-play game for the PS5. This was released in November 2020 and it was developed by Team Asobi. Astro's Playroom is a charming platformer that comes pre-installed on the PlayStation 5 and serves as both a showcase for the DualSense controller and a celebration of PlayStation's history. As you explore each area, you are constantly rewarded with the nostalgic reference, iconic PlayStation hardware and memorable characters from across multiple generations of gaming. Despite being a free pack-in title, it delivers a creative platforming, fun collectible and enjoyable platinum trophy journey. In this video, I'll be taking a look at what it took to earn the platinum and whether Astro's Playroom is still one of the best introduction to the PS5. Total trophies for this game consist of 43, including the platinum. However, there was a trophy earned at the end of the game to commemorate the PS5. Although this is a DLC trophy, I included it in to show the complete PlayStation history with the consoles. I was first introduced to the controller and the features that it has. Most of the game consists of adaptive triggers and the touchpad use. We then start with the touchpad as we are introduced to Astro, who lives inside our controller. I was then introduced to the tutorial section, which was short and simple, easing me into the controls while showing off the DualSense control features before the adventure began. After the quick tutorial, the four main components of the PS5 were revealed, each serving as a gateway to different worlds. These areas represent key pieces of the console's hardware, including CPU Plaza, GPU Jungle, Memory Meadow, and SSD Speedway. The level also features unique themes and gameplay mechanics, which I'll explain later. Before venturing and exploring the levels and what they had to offer, I decided to explore around the CPU Plaza, where I got my first trophy for collecting a puzzle piece. Puzzle pieces are collectible jigsaw pieces hidden throughout every world and level. As you collect them, they complete large murals in the PlayStation level, which I will show later once all the pieces are collected. Collecting all the puzzle pieces is an important step towards a platinum trophy because several collectible related trophies require completing these murals and obtaining every puzzle piece. With that, I then entered my first level, which was SSD Speedway. This was a fast-paced world where I glided through the first area. What I didn't expect was the hidden references to the classic PlayStation games, like here where I encountered Ratchet. I'm a big fan of Ratchet games and I quite enjoyed them as I grew up with them. Finding these character cameos and Easter eggs is part of the charm of the game and is what makes it more enjoyable. Moving on from that, I made my way up to the tower where I discovered a rocket suit for the first time. After jumping into the vessel and blasting into space, this completely changes how the level plays. This is my first experience of one of the unique suits Astro uses, as the rocket suit is more than just a power-up. It serves as a showcase for PS5's controller. For this particular level, it utilizes a PS5 adaptive controller to control the thrusters. This lets you feel resistance and feedback as you steer through obstacles, whilst using the motion control feature to help guide and navigate my way around the area. I made my way to the next area where at the beginning I found Dante from the Devil May Cry series. I never really played the game, but I do recognize it as it was iconic. I moved on to explore the area and the level and interact with whatever I can find, and not long after that I got my second trophy for punching 3 enemies quickly. Shortly after, I got another trophy for finding my first artifact. In this case it was a PS2 disc. Artifacts are also hidden throughout the world and are a main collectible, as there are a variety of hardwares and accessories to celebrate PlayStation's history, varying from consoles, controllers to memory cards and other accessories. When collected, they are also displayed in the PlayStation Level Museum, where you can interact with them and learn more about each piece of gaming. After speeding through the futuristic highway and doing the space missions and completing the final challenges, SSD Speedway concludes with a celebration of PlayStation 2's era, perfectly capturing the nostalgia of one of gaming's most iconic consoles, whilst also rewarding me with a trophy. Finishing the area felt both rewarding and emotional, not only because of the exciting gameplay, but it reminded me of the PS2, especially the sound it makes when you on it, which gave it a very nostalgic feeling. This was also the very first console that I played when I was younger. This level left me with a strong sense of nostalgia and excitement and really encouraged me to play and continue to explore. After that, I was teleported to the PlayStation Labo, where it shows and displays all the artifacts and puzzle pieces that I collected on my journey when exploring the level-specific area. Whilst exploring the Labo, I earned the next trophy for punching the logo on the PS2. In the same area, while still exploring what PlayStation Level had to offer, I found a gacha machine which showed me how to use the controller to open the prizes, and I earned another trophy for opening my first gacha prize. Gacha machines allow you to exchange coins that you collected for surprise collectibles, including artifact puzzle pieces and other PlayStation themed items. Every spin adds something new to the collection, making exploration feel more fun, rewarding, and helps you progress towards the full completion of the game. I progressed further by continuing to enter the next area, which was Cooling Springs. Shortly after entering the level, I came across another memorable PlayStation character, Kratos and Atreus from God of War franchise, and I love seeing them be recreated as Astrobots compared to his usual look. Exploring more of this paradise island, I found myself some diving boards and remembered there was some trophy that came with it, so I decided to knock it off since I was here. What began as a sunny, peaceful and vibrant paradise island gradually transformed into a frozen landscape filled with ice, snow and slippery surfaces. I made my way to a small ice island that had fences and a collectible was there, and I thought I would just mess around and build a giant snowball, which I unintentionally got a next trophy. I progressed further and made my way to unlock the frog suit, another unique power-up suit that changed the gameplay. Using the suit's extendable launch, I could grab objects, pull platforms and jump across gaps to reach new areas using the motion control moving side to side. While in the frog suit and I was near the end of the course, I reached the area where there are bouncy beach balls and I decided to knock another trophy off by hitting the ball in the air 5 times without it hitting the ground. This one was a bit finicky as, due to the motion control, I had to try and make sure the ball bounced upwards to maintain it and to not hit the ground. Reaching the end of Cooling Springs marked the completion of another chapter in Astro's Playroom, in which I earned 2 trophies, one for clearing Cooling Springs as well as collecting all the PS3 themed artifacts. The level's PS3 inspired theme was the era of gaming as it pushed forward with online play, HD graphics and unforgettable exclusives. I realised I was missing puzzle pieces and I went back into the area in Cooling Springs to collect them and using the PS5 hint video to find the ones that I'd missed, which led to a trophy. From that, I didn't realise that there was a trophy for collecting puzzle pieces and artifacts for the area, so I went back into SSD Speedway to collect the ones that I missed, earning me another 2 trophies. As I had a lot of coins collected from Cooling Springs, I headed over to the gacha machine to use up the coins on the prizes to get another trophy for collecting half the prizes at the gacha machine. I progressed into GPU Jungle, which felt like stepping into a living tribute of PlayStation's biggest adventure. As I explored the dense jungle environment, I kept discovering hidden iconic characters like Crash Bandicoot, Aloy from Horizon, Lady Marie from Bloodborne, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, and the Colossi from Shadow of Colossus. I haven't played much of it, but I do know the reference, and hint hint, and maybe a video come through soon. Each cameo was fun and exciting surprise. Shortly after, you have a segment when Astro picks up a weapon, which is a bow. This bow is essential and useful as it helped me to earn the next trophy, which was to deflect an enemy attack while using an arrow. Shortly after, the segment shifts into a more action-focused experience, in which includes a boss fight. This fight builds a bit of tension as you need to navigate around the environment, dodging attacks and looking for openings to strike back. It mixes platforming with combat, making every movement feel important in the area changes around you. But this is a game that's not really too hard, so it was easy to get to defeat the boss. Since this is a jungle themed section, we unlocked the monkey suit. I found the controls for this a bit finicky and through trash gameplay I got a next trophy. The suit perfectly matches the environment around them, as it uses the long arms to reach and swing across gaps, climb through the jungle and navigate obstacles that would otherwise be difficult to reach. We finally finished the end of the level where the PS4 takes center stage and I earned another 2 trophies for completing the area as well as collecting the artifacts. Just like the area before, it paid tribute to the different generation of PlayStation hardware. This section celebrates PS4 era, a console that defined gaming for millions of players and had incredible games brought to us. After finishing GPU Jungle, I headed back to the PlayStation Labo to see and interact with all the artifacts I have collected so far, which led to the next trophy being earned. This was to punch the lens of the VR and to look into it. With GPU Jungle behind us, it's time to head into Memory Meadow. This area takes a different approach, swapping dense jungles and climbing section for bright open landscape filled with references to PlayStation history. Shortly after entering, I remembered that there was a trophy linked with the area and it was to get hit with garbage, so I decided to do that and knock that off the list. I also earned another trophy, which was to take shelter from the rain. This was quick and easy to do since I'm in the area. We then enter Fastlane Fields, a bright and energetic area that introduces one of Astro's most unique gadgets, the ball suit. Once inside, Astro transforms into a giant rolling ball. This completely changes how we move through the level. Instead of using the motion control to navigate throughout the level like the previous suits, this one uses a touchpad, along with using the triggers. This means we can accelerate and brake, while steering allows us to weave around the obstacles to collect coins and build up speed across the course. It's a simple mechanic, but again a bit fiddly to get used to as the movement is centered around the touchpads. I was messing around in the area trying to get used to the controls, where I again unintentionally earned the next trophy, which was to get a strike, and surprisingly in my first go. What I enjoy about this level isn't just about rolling around in high speed, but it is how well the level is designed around the mechanic. The area is filled with ramps, widening paths, hidden collectibles, and obstacles that encourage you to keep building momentum while staying in control. The area constantly gives you opportunities to experiment with the ball suit, whether smashing through barriers, launching off jumps, or navigating tight corners without losing speed. Finishing memory medals brings us to a section where it really leans into the PS1 era, as well as earning another 2 trophies. This is where the nostalgia would really hit even harder, even if you grew up with the PS1. This takes you back to the early days of PlayStation, something that long-time fans will instantly recognize, showing just how far PlayStation has come since the PS1. With all the main levels and artifacts collected, I move on to cleaning up the remaining trophies and miscellaneous objectives. I started by spending the remaining coins I had on the gacha machine and slowly collecting and unlocking the secret trophy in process. From there, I continued progressing through the remaining tasks, earning a trophy for collecting all the artifacts across the main levels and PS level. While still in the PS level, I picked up another easy trophy by collecting a trophy icon that was sitting in plain sight. I then moved around the hub, completing a few quick tasks, including going through the PlayStation Home icon, standing on top of the aim controller for a hidden trophy, opening the lid to the PlayStation console for a disc swap trophy, and revealing the PlayStation logo for another nostalgic unlock. This about wraps up the cleanup section for the PlayStation level. I forgot I had some puzzle pieces missing, so I went back to collect them in the areas that I missed to finish off and earn another 2 trophies for those. Unsurprisingly, the final puzzle pieces for them required to wear this. After having some more coins collected, I went back to the gacha machine to finish off the few prizes that I had left to collect another 2 trophy. One for collecting all the gacha prizes, I had the one for collecting all the puzzle pieces. With all the puzzle pieces finally collected, the wall in the PS Labo comes to life, showcasing a full timeline of PlayStation history. What started as scattering collectibles across each level now forms a complete visual display, celebrating generation of consoles, accessories, and iconic moments. It's really satisfying to pay off seeing everything that I've gathered come to life in one place. This moment really highlights what Astro's Playroom does best, turning simple collectibles into a tribute to PlayStation's legacy. As we reach the end of Astro's Playroom, we make our way to the final boss encounter with the T-Rex located at the bottom section of GPU Plaza where the portal opens. It was a fun boss fight, even though the boss fight itself doesn't give you any trophies. After defeating it, there is a brief moment of celebration, thinking the adventure is finally complete. The game surprises us one last time as another T-Rex suddenly appears, turning what felt like an ending into an unexpected final twist. The final green T-Rex boss fight ramps things up and becomes a bit more intense and overwhelming compared to everything come before it. The area is constantly filled with action, enemies coming in, discs being thrown across the stage, and forced to dodge incoming lasers and missiles whilst trying to stay alive in the chaos. Despite all that, the goal was still simple but creative. You need to pick up a gold and even platinum trophy scattered around the arena and throw it back at the T-Rex to deal damage. It turned the fight into a chaotic celebration of PlayStation history, fitting perfectly with the theme of Astro's Playroom. Once the final hit lands and the T-Rex is defeated, everything settles down and the credit begins to roll, giving a satisfying ending to the fun nostalgic journey through PlayStation's past. After the credit roll, Astro's Playroom still had one final surprise waiting. Once the boss is defeated and the journey feels complete, the game reveals a special trophy dedicated entirely to the PS5 and parts of the DLC trophy. It's a fitting final reward celebrating the console that's made the entire experience possible, even though it's a DLC trophy. I thought it was still cool to have. With everything completed, I still had some very small miscellaneous trophies left, which were some were level specific, like this one which requires you to do a spin attack whilst jumping in the ice 3 times. Next came Wild Arm trophy earned by performing a spin while shooting the machine gun in SSD Speedway. After that, I worked on the last guy, which requires you to walk around the GPU Plaza with at least 20 bots following you. I had to gather them together by knocking them around and leading them into one group. Then I unlocked Project Neo, achieved by sending 10 bots flying at once using a single spin attack, which was just satisfying as it sounds. Next was Jumping Splash, earned by jumping into a fountain near the final goal in Cooling Springs. This is an easy to miss trophy. Finally, I picked up Adequate Boy by hitting all the rabbits with an arrow in the mountain peak of GPU Jungle, a small hidden challenge that encourages you to fully explore. With everything now completed, I earned the Platinum, bringing Astro's Playroom journey to a perfect and satisfying ending. The Platinum for Astro was quick, simple, easy and enjoyable, and I really enjoyed how it was a platforming game. It really was, kind of reminds me of a Mario game, but I really liked how up to date it was and how colourful it is. I also liked how it celebrated the history and had iconic characters, consoles, accessories scattered throughout the levels, collectibles and references. What really makes it stand out is how it uses the DualSense controller. Every surface movement from the special suits responsive and unique, as it uses the adapted triggers, motion control as well as a touchpad. For a free game that comes pre-installed onto the PS5, Astro's Playroom is easily one of the best launch titles ever made and a fantastic platinum for the PlayStation fan. If you made it to the end of the video, please leave a like and subscribe, comment down your experience with Astro's Playroom Platinum, and I will see you in the next video.